Hello, good night, good morning, or good day, good afternoon, wherever you are. Today I will just briefly talk a little bit about the MSG meeting coming up, and this in regards to the case of West Papua, who is trying to become a full member at MSG, or the Melanesian Spearhead Group. All right, I'm just gonna explain the reason why West Papua should become a member of MSG. Um, it is very important that West Papua becomes a member of MSG so that they will have the room or space or opportunity to be able to explain to the leaders of our region about what's really happening right now in West Papua. So currently, West Papua doesn't have a voice on the international stage, and also the regional um, grouping here in the Pacific and within MSG region. What we have seen in the past is that Indonesian government has lied in front of the international community at UN about um, the current situation or the status of West Papua within Indonesia. So when they go to United Nations, they don't present West Papua in such a way that the world can know exactly what's really happening in West Papua. When they go, they lie in front of the world. They try to make as if or talk in such a way that everyone will think that in West Papua everything is fine. But that is not the case. In West Papua, you have over right now there's ongoing Indonesian military operations targeting about 7 regions in West Papua, but mainly it's centered in the central highlands of West Papua that Indonesian government or Indonesian military is conducting military operations. And the impact of it is felt heavily by the civilians in the area. So, since 2018, the civilians in the area around Induga, Intanjaya, Yaukimo, Pegunungan Bintang, the Star Mountain, Intanjaya, those areas, people living in those areas, most people have actually vacated those villages because they're very fearful of the retaliation by the Indonesian military. Because from what we have seen or what we have known is that instead of going after the members of the West Papua National Liberation Army, Indonesian military, they're going to the villages and harassing, intimidating, and even to the point where they're killing innocent civilians. And they can't really differentiate between the locals and the Liberation Army. So they see anyone that dress, in such a way that they feel that to them, they might think that he's a member of the West Papua National Liberation Army, but in reality, they are like normal, they are civilians, and you cannot differentiate, the people of West Papua. So, what we are really concerned is that if West Papua is given the opportunity to be able to become part of MSG or the Melanesian Spearhead Group, they can be able to table very important issue or case about West Papua, what is happening in West Papua right now that the world needs to know. So, West Papua becoming a member of MSG, it will be very, very good because Indonesia and West Papua can sit together on the table in front of all the leaders of the MSG region, Melanesian Speed Group, so that we can hear from the Indonesians version, and also from the West Papuan side. So you can see that the Indonesian version would be different from what West Papua is saying. So this is why it's very important that West Papua becomes part of or is fully accepted as a member of MSG or Melanesian Spearhead Group. So because that's the only way that they can really table very important issues. Right now in West Papua, you have the issue about this DOB, or it is the plan to create, new provinces in West Papua. And the people of West Papua do not want this creation of these new provinces, because this is part of a divide and rule tactic by the Indonesian government to continue its illegal occupation, so that they can continue to colonize the people of West Papua, the region of West Papua. So for over 60 years, um, West Papua do not really have that voice on the international stage, and including the regional stage as well. So hopefully by becoming a member of MSG, West Papua could have that voice, so that they can have that right, or they can have that opportunity to really tell the world exactly what is really happening in West Papua, because it is very important that they they be given that opportunity, or they become part of um, they become a member of Melanesian Spearhead Group, so that they can be able to table these very, very important issues that need to be tabled, and it needs to be heard by the members of the Melanesian Spearhead Group region, and also including the Pacific Islands forum member countries. So right now, recently, we saw the visit by the Indonesian president to Australia and then to Papua New Guinea. And you can see that this visit, the timing, is very questionable, because it is within the time when the region are going to be debating or on the issue of West Papua and getting West Papua to become part of MSG. So their visit is more about trying to use that's the last and final attempt now by the Indonesian government to try and silence the voice of the West Papuan people by um, organizing this visit at a time when the issue of West Papua is going to be debated. Like the West Papua is also applying to become a part of MSG, a member of MSG. So the recent visit by Jokowi to Papua New Guinea is not a surprise, because that's part of the whole tactic to silence the voice of the people of West Papua. And what they have done is they decided to they promised Papua New Guinea that they would give them 15 million to upgrade um, the hospital, and also give 2,000 PNG students a scholarship to study in Indonesia. Um, we don't sort of we don't really mind about that, but our concern is that that should not divert our attention and focus on West Papua becoming part of Melanesian Space Group. It is very important that West Papua becomes part of MSG, so that West Papua and Indonesia can sit down together on the same table, so they can, you know, talk about the issues that are going on right now in West Papua, so that we can hear from the West Papuan side and also from the Indonesian side. And we, as the leaders of the MSG, including the Pacific Island Forum, can compare um, and see what's going on, and who is telling the truth and who is lying. So I think this is the reason why West Papua should be accepted as a member of MSG. So it's very important that um, they can be able, once they become a member of MSG, they can be able to table these very important issues that haven't been discussed for over 60 years, in West Papua, and it's very important that um, the leaders of MSG give West Papua the opportunity to become a member, so they can, um, you know, talk about these issues that that are happening right now in West Papua. So the visit by Indonesia, or even the aim, or the aid, or the promise by Indonesian government to support the Melanesian countries with this all this aid program, scholarship or funding, that should not divert our attention or change our mind into not to support West Papua, because if you look at again at Indonesia right now, Indonesia is heavily dependent on West Papua to survive, and the resources or the money that is coming into Indonesian economy is mostly from the West Papua, mostly from West Papua. We need to understand about 70 to 80% of Indonesian tax is coming from the world's largest gold mine, Freeport, that is operating in West Papua. So, in reality, the money that is Indonesia is giving to these Pacific island countries, or these Melanesian countries, it's actually coming from West Papua. So, we need to be thankful that this you can be able to have this bilateral agreement and all that, but you must realize that whatever the Indonesian government is giving you, it's actually from West Papua. So, um, having said that, I thought I would just mention it again. It is very important that West Papua becomes part of MSG, so that Indonesia and West Papua can be able to sit down together, and the leaders of our region can listen to the both side about what's really happening in West Papua, because all these years Indonesian government has not given the opportunity to the West Papuan leaders to speak, to sit down together and speak with them about how they felt, about 60 years of being an Indonesian rule. And let's not forget about the 20 years of special autonomy that just ended in 2021. The 20 year of special autonomy has actually failed, and the people of West Papua have come out in large numbers, and they've protested, and is telling the international community that they don't want that special autonomy to be extended. What they want is for Indonesian government to give them that space, or the opportunity for them to decide what they exactly want. But what we have seen is Indonesian government has actually ignored all the calls by demands by the West Papuan people, and they've gone ahead and created this gone ahead and continue on with this revised special autonomy law, and what we have seen as well is they've introduced this DOB plan, which is the plan to create these new provinces in West Papua. And it is very bad for the people of West Papua, because a lot of Papuans seeing this as a pathway to ethnic cleansing. It's basically Indonesian government, if they create more provinces, and obviously they will bring more people from outside Indonesia to come into West Papua, and they will begin to settle and control vast area of the country. They will begin to um, there's going to be the issue of land grabbing. Right now, we have seen there's a couple of cases in West Papua that about land being taken without consulting the local landowners, and there's disputes going on. So there are a lot of issues that that indigenous Papuans have felt, or have faced since West Papua was invaded or annexed by Indonesia. So, um, sorry, hoping that I hope that if West Papua is given that opportunity to become a member of MSG, Melanesian Space Group, then it will be the opportunity for the people of West Papua to broad into the attention of the Melanesian leaders, including PIF, about the current situation that is happening right now in West Papua, that Indonesian government has tried to uh, shut um, it, or ban international rest of the world uh, to know about this information, what's really happening in West Papua. So right now we in West Papua you have a media ban, so the world doesn't know exactly what's happening in there. So we are kind of like depending on the social media, people posting on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram. So that's the only way that the world can know exactly what's happening in West Papua. So hopefully, with West Papua became a member of MSG, they will be able to sit down in front of the MSG leaders, and together they can, with Indonesia on the side, so that the world leaders or the leaders of MSG can listen to West Papua, what is really happening in the country right now. Because we cannot listen to Indonesia. Indonesia have lied all these years to the international community about what's really happening in West Papua. I can't imagine Indonesian government going to UN and standing in front of the podium and lying to the international leaders or international community about what's happening in West Papua. They go and they talk about the acceleration of development and this is what they're doing, blah blah blah, and they don't even mention about the real what's still happening in West Papua. This information is uh, not it's not explained well. So I hope that once West Papua became part of MSG, that will give them the opportunity to really explain to the international community and also to the media about what's really happening in West Papua, and that can give uh, a new hope for the leaders of our region and how they can try and help um, put West Papua, help West Papua, put the issue of West Papua back onto the UN decolonization, for West Papua to be decolonized, and the right of self-determination can be given to the people of West Papua so they can choose what is best for them. Because 60 years of being under Indonesian colonial rule and occupation, what we have seen is over 500,000 loss of lives, people being killed, displaced, and right now in West Papua, with the ongoing Indonesian military operations, creation of these new provinces, we've seen over 100,000 people have been displaced from their homes and villages, and this needs to come to an end. We cannot allow this to happen at this time when Indonesian government cannot lie to the international community, because this is not like 40 or 50 years ago. Right now, with the change in innovation and technology, the people of West Papua can be able to report about what's really happening on the ground through posting them on social media and all that. So Indonesian government cannot lie or in front of the international community. So hopefully, with West Papua become part of member of MSG, that will give the opportunity to the West Papuan leaders to table very important issues about what's really happening right now in West Papua. So anyway, thank you. This is something that I thought I would just remind our ladies again in the upcoming meeting. I want them to make this very important decision, make the right decision, because although Indonesian government have promised aid and all that, but that does not um, that will not divert our attention and focus about what's really happening in West Papua, because West Papuan people must be given the voice, opportunity to be able to speak and inform the international community about what's really happening right now in West Papua. Thank you and God bless.